Hello, good morning. Now we continue our story A Scoff. Last day that we discussed, and later the protagonist or the writer, she went to Baltimore to visit her friend Gwen, and their meeting between Gwen and the writer maybe the last denouement of the story, last stage of the story. What do you know about the protagonist? The story or the writer has already collected a scarf which is very attractive and which she thinks that would gladden her daughter. Has been neatly packed, and she wants to discuss this matter with her friend Gwen, and indirectly she wants to know what is her opinion regarding this scarf. But later what happens, that let us wait and see. Gwen, page number 131. Gwen and I had been in the same women's writing group back in Lancaster. This again as a writing friend to our writer. In fact, she had been informal but acknowledged leader of those who have met to weekly share workshop our writing. Gwen had a very good friendship with our writer because they had attended so many workshops related to writing sections. Poetry, memoir, fiction, we brought photocopies of those morning session where our coffee, muffin, this was an age of muffins. It is a type of memories. Then the last days of 70s, we kindly encouraged each other and offered tentative suggestions. Whenever, wherever, however they had a chance, they would mutually appreciate, they would mutually support, they would mutually discuss the things around them, what they going to write, had been writing. All these matter of discussion between these two. I think you are one draft from being finished. A decent character extended the scene. The critical crumbs were taken of what they were, the tumblings of amateur. Some people do some acting for amateur purpose. They are called amateur actors because they want to satisfy themselves. They want to get happiness. So it is only for the purpose of happiness they do something. Such people are called amateurs. Her short fiction had been published in a number of literary quarterlies. There had been near mythical style. Years later, Harper's, when she moved to Baltimore 5 years ago to become a writer in residence for a small women's college. Our writers group first fell into irregularity, then slowly died away. Now writer remembers how Gwen had been a friend to her, and why or when she went to Baltimore and settled there. And she was also a promising writer. We were kept in touch with the two of us. I wrote exactly when I had come across a piece of hers in 3 spoons, was advertised being part of novel in progress. She had used my whalebone metaphor. Whatever metaphors that I use in my writing would be blindly imitated by Gwen in her writing. That I know. I knew about the novel Gwen Shen. Been working for years trying to bring feminist structure. Whatever her friend Gwen writes would have a feminist touch, because she was a feminist and she was promoting feminism in her writing. In these early 70s, throws flow anxious of satisfied or demand, she had her navel closed. Even a particular thing that I had noticed on Gen, she had closed her navel point. No, this point of navel has been earmarked by the hereditary of testimony of mother, but by the influencing the character of her boyfriend or some other attractions, it is reported by the writer, Gen had replaced her navel root because she wants to be more modern. She had been navel closed by, it was done by a plastic surgery. So, a navel point is the hereditary point of our motherhood. And she was ready because of her feminist thinking. She even had closed her navel root. Surgeon, because her husband complained that it smelled of. And even after that, people say, husband say, it was a bad nature. Complaint apparently had been once a momentary, but some of the police to punish, she became a woman without a navel underline. Later, she became a woman without a navel. Left with a fattish indentation of middle of her belly. Page number 132. This navel-less state more anything became a symbol of regret and anger. Underline regret and anger. Those people who look at her belly would say it is a bad woman. She spoke of erased and her relationship to the mother with whom she was a bad terms anywhere had been erased along with the primal mark of connection. It is reported by Gen, she does not want to remember her mother because mother had been nightmare for her. She is not interested to talk with her. So, consequently, she wanted to correct her navel. She was looking into a novel reconstruction. She would said in her letter, cost of a criminal. In the meantime, she had retaken her unmarried name, Redman. Gwen had a name before marriage. Redman had gone back to full name Gendolin. Later, she became her name Gendolin, underline. She had changed her style of dress too. I noticed the right way when I saw her state in a cafe. Her jeans and sweater had been traded for, looked for large folds of unstitched, unstructured cloth. This Gendolin used to wear a typical dress which would attract all other people. Skirts and overskirts and capes and shoes. I wondered of an awful women's been ill, undergoing chemotherapy and suffer hair of loss. But no, there was a fresh, healthy, rich face. Instead of a purse, she had only lumpy plastic bag with a supermarket logo. Earlier, she used to keep a vanity bag with her. Nowadays, she keeps a very big shopper. To go with a supermarket logo. That did worry me, especially because she put into the table instead of setting. Flora, I would have expected it bound slightly the sticky wooden surface. I remembered that always carried apple with her, a paper bag to offer a bottle of colors and medication. She has also been under the treatment of chemotherapy. I would have been that my time suppose except by publication. I reported Gendolin that my book, My Time's Up, has been popularly accepted. She sent back postcard saying, well done, it sounds like a hoot. When I told her through a letter that my book has been acclaimed, my book has been popularly accepted, and she replied, well done, it sounds like a hoot. Underline. It was a little surprise that she had not been copy of mine to sign one at some point halfway through of my oyster soup. If she had been the college pays her shamefully, of course. I know she doesn't have money for my new books. Why had I Miss Scribbens and a complimentary copy? It was until we finished our salads. So it was a happy moment. to talk to Gendolin in a restaurant, and we finished our food, salads, ordered our coffee. I noticed she had mentioned the book, but perhaps she did not know the notice the New York Times had been anymore, could have used it. Now we reach page number 133. It became suddenly important to let her know that price. It was a long way not to swallow. How could I walk into conversation? Maybe this is something about Tom, and he was thinking putting the roof over barn. I informed Gwendolyn that I am alone here at Baltimore. My husband at home and my children at my native place. And Mr. Tom now repairing the barn. We have a cowshed and that has been covered by roof, and my husband is in charge of it. Right, she said heartily. Let me know. She already knew beginning, middle, end. She grinned. Then she began to laugh. When I reported all this, she began to laugh. She talked about her stuff by Shimon. Meanwhile, she used to talk about what she is planning to write. She made it like a sack of a capcock. Kapok is cotton. A magazine editor had commented on how much and how kind of stuff contained the above authenticity. There were always linguistic surprises in her work. Underlying by our writer, she reports, Gwendolyn has some linguistic surprising incidents. She would always give some linguistic surprises in her writing. Her likes, in fact, that stuff is kind of steers a random course. She said, no beginning, middle, and I surprise. Right, she regarded me fondly. I were a prize people. Her eyes look slightly pink at the corners, but it may have been reflection from cloth. That sharp line is a forget. Anyway, I should say, I must say, I like Gwendolyn because her writing is so attractive. She claimed she had an imagination. Gwendolyn tells everybody that her imagination is very high. So her stories are very high because her imagination is very high. She wrote a material of her life. Forever look out what called putty, but this she meant for arbitrary or ordinary mileage in daily life. Simmons had no wonderful ribs and butterholes. And a brilliant piece of beveled mirrors, another one smell of certain set of wooden stairs of her childhood wax, wood of reassuring cleanness, accumulating the side of story but not a claim for importance. Page number 134. She looked sad over her coffee. We had been taking coffee. After her cup of coffee is finished, I looked at her face and she was very unhappy. Older than I remembered, wherein I could tell her she disappointed me for reason. It occurred to me I might offer a piece of booty by telling her the discovery I had made the days before shopping was not that I could become a mission even of the pursuit. I had a shopping then in mind. I had been presented with an unmasked for a block of time. It might possibly imagine the artifact, but to realize it. How many boutiques did you visit or did you vend? In order to open communication, Gwendolyn asked our writer, how many shops did you visit? I knew I had interest at least. I told, I visited for shopping 20 shops or thereabouts. Incredible, she reported. But it was what it was in the what start became more and more. The afternoon went on. Why? She asked slowly. Why did you go for 20 shops? To see if existed things I had in mind. And I did. Yes, to prove my point, I reached into my note bag. My Gwendolyn, my friend, I wanted to buy a special thing. That thing, how to reveal you. But anyway, I will tell you, I have bought a special thing that is to be presented to my daughter. That is my vision. It is a beautiful piece of scarf. that I have arranged. Then I opened my bag and pulled out the pale puffy boutique bag. I rolled the pink tissue paper, table shawl or a scarf. Then I took the scarf and spread it on the table. All of a sudden, Gwendoline took in her hand, tears glinted in her eyes, just things so beautiful. She was telling it was so beautiful, and slowly tears were coming down from her eyes because of her happiness. You invented, created your imagination. I almost cried myself. I hadn't expected anything to understand. Gwendoline thought this is the primary visit. Writer would present this scarf to Gwendoline. And Gwendoline thought nobody had given me such a prize in my life like that. At the end of the story, she takes the scarf herself. Then writer understood. Whatever we dream, we won't get. This is the philosophy. Page number 135. I watched her roll scarf back into her fragile paper. She took her time tackling the edge and then she supplied parcel into her plastic bag. She covered the scarf in a particular cover and put in her own bag. You don't know what you have given me today, but I did. But what is it amount to a scarf and half a silk milk lace? Floating free of the veil, I looked at Gwendoline, my old friend, then owned hands. A little diamond, thick magic, forgotten name from the anxieties. Not one of us going to get what we wanted. Underline, not one of us was going to get what we wanted. Man proposes, God disposes. Whatever we want, we won't get. We will never get. We kept a very good scarf for my daughter to be present on birthday. But this, my friend took this one. What a joke, very transparently in need of showing up. We ask ourselves, Augustine and Leslie, but not nearly Eastern. The world isn't ready for us. It hurts me that we are too soft in our tissues. Denali, Wistman, Hanover, survivor, cynic and genius. Even you, Mrs. Winters, Rand Winters, with your new old endless knowledge. We are too kind, too willing, too unwilling to, reaching out blindly, grasping hand, but not knowing how to ask what we don't even we want. What means what? We expect so many things from others. We dream so many things in our plans, but nothing going to be fulfilled. It is a man's life, ephemeral and temporary. At any moment, even thoughts in our daily life would change. Whatever our writer has been keeping for her daughters, within a moment, the communication between Gwendoline and our writer has reached in that way. Gwendoline took the scarf herself, thinking that she was bringing the present for her. This is the matter of our life. Now it goes like the story. Now finishing the story in this way, that the thing that no, in the middle of the last paragraph you underline, not one of us going to get what we wanted. It was the basic theory of the story now has been given. So you have to read the story from the beginning, then again underline the important characters of the story. It is a wonderful piece by Caron Shield, a scarf. In this way, it goes in the correct story that I would suggest keeping such imagination in your mind. You people, as being literary students, have to write some stories in the correct way. Page number 136 and 137, that you prepare notes and all that. During the time of revision, I will also help you. Till that moment, we do goodbye. Read all the textbook. In between, American and post-colonial literature that you would enjoy in future. If any problem you face, do not forget to text me. Goodbye.